Foranda.
Oh, that's me.
Yeah.
Hello. I'm still getting used to like the non-mirrored camera. It's crazy.
Do you want me to? I don't know if I can actually.
Oh no. I'm. It's no.
Yeah,
It's more trouble than
you're
it's
like
worth.
fine. Well, I mean, I think it makes for great content too when you're like
Exactly.
when you're doing this. We got J Star in the house too. J Star, we're welcoming in Jim. Guys, give a big shout out to Jim Foranda. By the way, before I forget, the to enter the giveaway, it's #ClapTrap. #ClapTrap. So Jim, what's happening? How are you?
I'm doing just ducky. Thank you very much.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I see like we talked about earlier, I see that you have some amazing like decor behind you that is very feline.
Yeah. Oh, see, look, it's
Are you trying to remove there?
There we go. Yeah. So my wife and I, we went very first trip to Japan in 2005, and this was before smartphones. It was before pocket Wi-Fi. It was carrying a guidebook with the very little Japanese that I learned from doing pincer lessons, driving to my ad job every day, and yeah, we got that. It was a little like one of these little cloth things in Kyoto. And we got it
yeah, they're called tanugis. Tanugis.
With
the cloth things are called tanugis. The cloth things like in Japan, they're like like the cloth. They have artwork on them and everything.
Oh, I was unaware of that.
Yeah.
That's the like not separate from the tanukis that.
Oh, good. Yeah.
So okay. Anyway, see, oh God, the Lego cat was a gift for my wife. Like due to a scheduling thing, she was going to be visiting family around the time of my birthday, and she's like, and you know, we've been together since high school, so it's like a story for like talking about when I worked in advertising. My first trip to San Diego Comic-Con happened to be like on our anniversary, and she was like, "It's fine, it's cool." Yeah. So
see, so Jim, that's a keeper. Yeah. You knew that was a keeper. Because if on your anniversary your wife says it's okay for you to go to your to get San Diego Comic-Con, that's you put a ring on that.
No, she's the left brain, I'm the right brain. It's like we you know, she's very proud. It's like that's fine.
It's fine. You know, so, you're good.
Yeah.
You're good. That's awesome. All right, Jim. We got lots of questions to get to. We have questions that you've seen me. I sent to you, and also questions that came in from from our Gato audience. And I want to make sure that people get a chance to kind of like learn a little bit more about you. So let's get into it. So first off, tell us how you came into be a voice actor, because the story that I actually ended up reading, it sounds absolutely incredible. And basically the way you detail it out is that it was due to a budgeting mishap.
Yes. So I used to work in advertising. I'll try to make this as fast as possible. Started out in a small advertising agency in Tampa. I was writing stuff for like a ceiling tile company and a prospectus for a vision care company. Thrilling stuff. There was a guy there. They brought in like an art director to do a campaign for manufactured homes. And we started talking about Star Wars just for funsies. I had like an Action Fleet TIE bomber on my desk. It's my favorite TIE crafted bomber. Anyway, and so I get laid off from this job. My first layoff. Those happen a lot in advertising. They suck. And then a couple, like literally a month into this layoff, I get a call. They need somebody to work in Dallas on the Pizza Hut Star Wars campaign. And I was like, okay. And they flew me out for an interview, and I came out here. And so I replaced somebody who broke NDA. Like they got super fired. And
people do not break NDA.
Yeah. Exactly. It's if you want to work in whatever you're doing, keep your mouth shut. Yeah. And so did that, and then a few years later, we got a test job from Hasbro for G.I. Joe, and it was for like the 12-inch stuff. It was but then they like, oh, you did great work on that. And we started, when they relaunched 3 3/4 inch, there was a computer animated spot that we did. And they had you know, we've got union talent in there. Mark Hamill was Duke. It was crazy.
Whoa!
And
did you meet him?
No, he was recording like via ISDN.
Oh,
before, like,
okay,
internet.
okay.
But I did get to do this. I asked my my boss. He was like, "What do you want him to say? Tell him to do another one like that, just a little faster." So I pressed the button. Yeah, Mark, that was great. Can you do another one like that, just a little faster? And he's like, "Yeah, sure." And then I released the button. I'm like, "I fucking directed Mark Hamill." One sentence. And then I took his role because it turns out that the producer made a serious budgeting mishap, and all that talent the usage fees for that was going to be extraordinarily expensive, and that ate into the actual media buy. Like, we wouldn't even be able to air it.
Oh, wow.
So there was this emergency thing where they had everybody from the ad agency just like go into the booth. We didn't even slate our names. We just read the roles, and this is like everybody. And Hasbro ended up casting me as a British reporter, Duke, Destro, Cobra Commander, and Heavy Duty. Which is funny because, and as for Heavy Duty, I was the brownest person at the agency, the only brown person at the agency at the time. So It's like, yeah. So I guess that was okay for me to be Heavy Duty. But yeah, and when Hasbro found out it was me, they just decided, just use Foronda. I think I'm the only actor who in an official capacity for advertising have been Duke, Destro, Cobra Commander, and Megatron, and Mr. Potato Head, and Unicron, a really bad Unicron.
That's crazy. That is absolutely crazy. Because I remember those commercials. I remember all the, like, the different, like, I mean, especially back in the, back in the day when they had all the, like, the cartoon commercials and stuff like that. That was like really, really fun. They'll act out your 2 and 3. What is it? 3 and 3
quarter.
Yeah, 3 and 3/4. Yeah.
Yeah. All those fun commercials that you had in the 80s, there are a lot of rules we had to follow in the 2000s. It was like a massive book. I mean, crazy rules. And it's just, yeah, it was, you'd be shocked.
So do any of those rules have to do with what you do? Like, you guys weren't actually you guys actually weren't playing with the toys. You guys were actually doing the voices for the toys.
Oh, no. This was computer animated. And the reason why, if it was, you could not. The internet was brand new at the time in 2003, and so it's like a toy company could advertise a website and not show any of the product, and that way it could be all fantasy. Fantasy meaning cartoon, or dancing nowadays, dancing CG, toys and stuff like that. No more than 10% of the spot could be fantasy.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah. So, it's full CG spot, and then send them to the website, and then that's where look at the toys. And then later on, you could use like just bits and snippets of that big, beautiful computer animated commercial, the 60-second one,
right,
in the, the 15-second and 30-second spots with the toys, with kids going, yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Man, business people, like people who went to like not the
business
creative
school,
ones, but the ones, yeah. They love it when kids do this. Yeah. And like no kid does this. Yeah. And they had us like shoehorn that into so many spots, and it was just dumb. Anyway, so so that's how I got into voice acting. Each sold separately, batteries not included, so assembly required. Actual change time may vary. Major pumping required.
Nice. That's
stuff.
good.
Yeah.
I love that.
I would have to fill in for like legal. Sometimes the actors that we got in, that when I wasn't doing it, they had difficulty with the legal, so I would just hop in and read it, and it would. So yeah, that's how I got started. A new producer, a different one, said you could get paid for this on the side, and I was working 60, 70 hours a week. So I would like, hey, I'm taking a long lunch. I'm gonna go to Funimation and audition for this thing, and they're like, yeah, that's fine, because I was gonna be there till 11 or midnight anyway. So yeah, first anime was Case Closed on Cartoon Network, or Case Closed on Cartoon Network. In early 2004. So
wow.
Yeah.
So that's crazy. So that's actually not that long ago. It's like that's about 20 years ago. So Hasbro, What was your favorite ad that you helped bring to
Oh
life?
God, I have a lot of favorites. Massive Zoids. I was a huge Zoids kid. I got a giant CG Liger Zero running through a city. Any of the Transformers ones, I loved those.
Yeah, those are great.
But my favorite was for the Avengers role play toys, like the Thor's hammer, the big Hulk fist, and stuff like that.
Oh my God, yeah.
And I wrote rap lyrics for an Avenger because the client wanted an Avengers rap. I'm like, okay. So I wrote the lyrics, and I wish I knew the name of the artist who came in and recorded it. I wasn't even present for that because it was actually recorded in LA, and they just.
So you did a rap song about the Avengers.
Yeah.
I love it.
What is it? Some website at the time said Hasbro's Avengers gives us the most awesomely ridiculous comic book toy spot of all time, and I was like, thank you very much. I'm honored.
That should be
fun.
Yeah, that should be on a T-shirt for you, Jim. It's a pretty solid quote. So you've and you mentioned anime, right? So you voiced an amazing amount of characters, and like I said, the resume is a mile long. What is the main difference in your mind from voicing anime to voicing games?
Well, anime, you have to fit the exact timing. There's very little ad-libbing in anime because it's set. You know, the script is set. You're basically translating something that's already been done. Oh, I mean, it's been translated, and and you have to basically fit all of the emotion and the delivery into that. Is my cat meowing in the background?
He should be. He's
I
on Gato TV now. So yeah.
There we go.
We'll allow it.
So anyway, trying to fit that into that set time, it's challenging. And but with games, most of it is prelay, where you record it. I mean, I started recording on for Borderlands 4, for example. Almost 2 years before it came out.
Right.
And it's sometimes they let me they let me, if I'm reading the dialogue, sometimes when you're in character, if something pops in your head just as the character will happen. I can give examples of that later, but I don't know if I don't know who's played How Rush Saved Mercenary Day. I immediately played that yesterday when it went live. And there's some ad libs that made it into ClapTrap's caroling. So,
that's awesome, because so I do have a lot of questions that come in about the ad-libbing and about whether or not where do you go with that, right? And then there's also questions here about so ClapTrap is in different. We'll get to those questions in a second, but want to definitely find out if you're recording for that as well, or if they're just taking other types of stuff out of the other games and just kind of like chopping stuff up. But I don't think they would actually be able to do that. Which do you prefer? What is your favorite anime character you voiced? And for that matter, which one made you question your life choices?
Oh God! See, it's the favorite character questions that are really hard because
that's why it's in this. That's why it's in here.
Yeah, I will say, because I could say, Luke Sion from Trapped in a Dating Sim. I love him. Kenya Yukimiya from Blue Locky's the first time anybody thought to cast me as a handsome anime boy who's an athlete and a model. But I had been, working in anime for, at the time, like 16 years.
Wow.
And I have never landed a lead or a main cast, role at all. And I was cast as a guy named Kumasa in the anime. If my favorite pop idol made it to the Budokan, I would die. And it's a show about idol otaku, and it's a show about idols. And there's a woman she just falls madly in love with her favorite idol. and it's a small local idol group, so they're not big, they're not famous.
Right.
But then the idol is also, loves her as well, but because of the rules of, the strict, how kind of weird it is, it's like they can't have social lives outside of it's like there's this weird decorum that idols have to live by in Japan in order to stay idols and succeed.
Right.
And so there's that wall in between the two of them. And I love it because Kumasa is the main character's best friend. And it's totally platonic. He's not like weird or creepy. And it's like, oh yeah, you love your fave? Cool, no problem. It's just, and essentially he was just a big, dumpy Asian nerd. And it's like, that's not a stretch for me. It's like, it's of all the characters I voiced, he'd be the easiest one for me to cosplay as.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah,
there you go.
Yeah, it's but it was the director. I'd worked with the director previously. Good Lord, it was when it was at a studio where it was outsourced because at the time Funimation, before the whole Crunchy merge, they had like so much stuff they would outsource to. It was at Chris Sabat's studio at Okratron, and I recorded Gearbox stuff there, Battleborn, pre-sequel stuff for Borderlands 2, all there because they it was before Gearbox built their own the brand new thing in Frisco with
right.
Man, they got a beautiful studio there. Anyway,
he sidetracked everybody in the beautiful studio.
I trail off everybody. I'm so sorry.
No, don't be.
Yeah, I ramble. But yeah, I'd say Kumasa, probably I have a soft spot for that because it was the first time anybody entrusted me with a main character ever.
Amazing.
And he was just he's a good guy. He's very kind, he's very thoughtful. He just happens to be really, really dig his favorite idol group and his favorite idol.
That's awesome.
But he respects boundaries.
Well, yeah, so he's a very respectful idol worshiper.
Yes.
So in which character did you kind of go, I don't even know why I'm doing this? Is there any character that
this is actually recent.
Ooh.
I don't know if anybody watches Gachiakata. Really, really good kind of post-apocalyptic anime. It's so there was I get this. I'm not in the show. I get a message from my agent. Hey, you've been contracted. They've been contacted. They want you to read this character. It's a character named Mister. I'm like, oh, cool. Let me look that up. And I like to research what I'm doing, so I go in and I have an idea of what the character's like, and I read, oh, he's a pedophile child trafficker.
Oh.
And I'm reading the manga. I'm reading the manga, and it's kind of horrifying. And it's like, here's the thing. When I was muscular in My Hero Academia, somebody messaged on Twitter. It's like, how does it feel knowing your character kills children?
Oh.
And I just responded, it was just, if we didn't have villains, everybody in that show would be saving cats stuck in trees. It's like, we need villains to show the evil, and we need heroes to show the good. And
right.
And so the director of Gachiakata, Lee George, he said, the reason why I wanted to bring you in, he said, because I know you'd have the ability to take the character and give it the weight and the realism that it needs, you without turning him into a cartoon villain, because the seriousness of his crime,
of the content,
the seriousness of his crime, it's like it's, and the way the story was, it's really, really well done, because it shows how traffickers, how they can basically groom children, and a lot of it is shown from the girl's point of view, and how everything in her story has been completely twisted by this guy. And it felt so icky, you know what I mean? And it was just, I'm like, Lee, man, come on. And he's like, it's okay, let's get through it. And it's whenever I have a villain that's really bad, I want their comeuppance to be either as painful or as fearful or as for sure. Because I want viewers to go, oh yeah, man, they got what was coming to them.
Absolutely.
It's like when
absolutely.
Again, what I based Muscular on my 7th grade bully. When he gets punched into the side of a mountain, and that shock and that, it's that's my 7th grade bully getting punched into a mountain, right?
Nice.
So here's the thing with Gachiaka spoilers for this episode, everybody, if you haven't seen it. When he dies, he doesn't have like a yell. He just has like this, the Japanese actor has like this one utterance of a whimper as he falls, like really far. And so basically it's like, I've got this one whimper. I want to put as much existential fear and dread in this man as he falls out the window, as he realizes that he is on his way to being 100% dead and there's nothing he can do about it. And it's his victim that did it. And it's like, and yeah, it's it was the one role I didn't even announce it, because it was like, it was so ooky.
Yeah.
That it's like, I'm just gonna, but then somebody, there's this really cool person who basically, he automatically I don't even know if he's a he, it's a he avatar. Anyway, somebody basically puts all of our credits into like the fandom wiki. And it's amazing because that person can like basically spot my voice from a mile away, even through all the different weird character voices, just knows. They have an incredible ear. And yeah, it was like, oh, they asked the director, it's like, who played these characters, and just want to double check, and sure enough they said, oh, Jim Foronda played Mr. I'm like, well, it's out there. And I'm like, I just had to say, it's like, it was the most uncomfortable thing I'd ever done, but I was honored that Lee had the confidence in my acting skills to do it.
Yep.
And I'm gracious for that, for his opinion of my acting ability. And yeah, it's I'm proud of the work, but doesn't mean I like it.
Yeah, well, I mean, the thing is that you like it is creepy, and the fact that you were able to give his demise, like it's gotta. I mean, it's at some point, like you said, the viewers gotta feel like satisfied that they get the death that they deserve, right? And so if you're able to like just make sure that they get that that you personify the death that they deserve, kudos. But yeah, I get it. Icky. So let's get out of all that, and let's get over to ClapTrap. Let's get over to to our favorite rolling dirty mouthed robot here. So most people may not realize you were not the original ClapTrap. How did you land the gig?
Well, I can tell you right now, there are a lot of people that do know I'm not the original ClapTrap, and they make sure to let me know.
Oh man! Don't you love fandoms? Don't you love them? They're just great.
But the majority of people have been like super cool about it. It's and I'm thankful for that, because the first time I ever worked with Gearbox was on Brothers in Arms Earned in Blood, the second one. I was multiplayer character A. And good Lord, that was like 2004, 2005, I think. Mm-hmm. So in the original Borderlands, I started on the zombie island of Dr. Ned, and I was, I'm gonna go through a whole roster of Borderlands voices I've been leading up to ClapTrap. Okay, so I was Hank Reese, the loving father who wore a macaroni hat made by his daughter, turned into a wereskag. I was Jethro Shed, who got eaten by Zombie Steve. These are all in Echo logs. I was Harry, who was like this Shaggy knockoff. He had a skag named Skaggy, and the Echo is them hiding in a barrel from zombies. Dirk Smallwood, who is a vault hunter who was trying to find a vault in Jacob's Cove, and don't know what happened to him. I was also the glitched Jacob's vending machine that worked only once. I don't know if they ever patched it, because you only were able to get to that machine at the very end when you completed everything in the DLC. And so yeah, those were my first voices for Borderlands. Then in Secret Army of General Knox, I was the voice of the Atlas Corporation and the Atlas drones. They would say stuff like, during this drone's attempt to kill you, perhaps you'd like to consider the Atlas Corporation's fine line of insurance products. Please, think of your family at this time of crisis.
Oh, I love it.
And I was also in that the Ice Cream Day soldier. There are these two soldiers that, again, Echo logs. so much fun. Yeah, and this one guy, it was sings an Ice Cream Day song. That was that's what it said in the direction. And I asked, it was Anthony Birch, I think. Was it Anthony, or was it oh my God, whoever it was,
Anthony something or other.
Yeah,
yes.
Yeah, it's
Tony, yo,
oh
Tony.
God, I'm having a total brain fart. Oh God, Mikey Newman. I think maybe it was Mikey. I can't remember. But yeah, they said just sing it, and so I sang the Ice Cream Day song, and that was the very first time I sang for Gearbox, and it would not be the last. Then Borderlands 2 comes out. I'm the voice of a bunch of echoes. Oh God,
so many echoes.
It's no. Basically, I was the lab rats that shot lasers out of their eyes. I was oh God, what was his name? The autographed Buck. Shit, I don't remember. Some NPCs, some guy who's about to get set on fire in and then he ends up worshiping Lilith, the Vault Hunter.
Oh, yeah.
Some really sad dude. You walk up to him. Oh, and the voice of the Doll Corporation. Stanton Doll believed there are 3 types of people in this universe. And at one point in time, there was going to be corporation vending machines.
Yeah.
And they would all be themed with their own VO. But the thing is, they realized we need to have a variety of guns in them, because that you'd have to basically go and seek out this. Anyway, to make a long story short, those ended up being on the radio instead. Pre-sequel, still voice of the Doll Corporation, and then Battleborn happens. I ended up voicing a ton of characters in Battleborn. Worked on that for 2.5 years. It was a great game with a very, very tightly knit fan base that got stomped into the ground by Overwatch. And that was just my first experience being like in the game a lot.
Right.
I ended up being like three playable characters and one of the overseer characters in an entire game type.
That's a lot. That's a lot of lines. I mean, that's an insane amount of work.
Yeah, I was Oscar Mike, Isaac, Whiskey Foxtrot, Minrek, and then they asked me, can you do a Carl Castle type NPR interview? I literally interview myself in one scene. And then as it happened, I get this audition for ClapTrap, and it's all secretly coded and stuff like that and everything, but it's clear this is what this is. And I don't know why, but I'm thinking, maybe David is sick or something. Anyway, I auditioned for it. I don't hear anything back. Turns out Mikey Newman basically supplied the voice for like a PAX presentation.
Right.
And then I get another audition, and it was like a callback. It was like, okay, do this unscripted thing before and send it off. Again, don't hear anything back. A few months later, another callback. Here are these lines. Here's this audio. Mimic this exactly. And then here's this original dialogue from Borderlands 3, and read this. And so, I read it. I said, here's one of the kickers. I said, if they want me to sound like it exactly, what I need the unprocessed audio, because, if you hear the processed audio, you're not going to be able to sound like him.
Right.
It has to be the natural voice.
Right.
And so I did my absolute best with that. And about a month later, my wife is on a business trip, museum educators conference in Seattle, and I'm sitting here by myself. I get a text message from Sam Winkler, and he's like, "Hey, we played your audition for a pitch for today." And I was like, "Really?" And I'm waiting.
Yeah, three dots.
And he's waiting, and I ask him about this. He goes, "Oh yeah, I was just stringing you along," and he goes, "It's you." And it was. It's like, I say it this way. It's like like David is, in James Bond terms, David is Sean Connery. He basically started the role. He kind of set that path. And then and the Mikey was him for like one PAX presentation. So he's like the George Lazenby. And that makes me the Roger Moore ClapTrap. Yeah. And I'm happy being and the thing is that none of us, I'm never going to be able to match David exactly. But like Doctor Who's, like Batman's.
Yeah, exactly.
It's not everybody's Adam West. It's like we all love the character and we want to keep him going. And so, a lot of people made it a point to tell me and to tag me on social media about what a terrible claptrap I was, but other people were like, wow, oh yeah. It was like
people can be such pricks, I swear.
But it was when I remember going in to record for the first day, it was terrifying because it's like, here's our baby, our icon, our mascot.
Yeah.
There you go. And it's just, and the other Randy Varnell, who's like the narrative lead, he said, here's, I want you to know this, that if people hate you as ClapTrap, you did a good job. If people love you as ClapTrap, you did a good job. And the way he said it, it was like, okay. And it kind of like, it made me feel a bit more at ease. And working with Gearbox, they have spoiled me for like any other video game company. They are so great to work with.
That is fantastic to hear. That's great to hear. By the way, Jim, so we have people popping into the chat, and they have lots of love dropping it in here.
Thank you very much.
Yeah. So heck,
I can read. Okay, it's like so cool because my vision sucks. Okay.
But you see, like, so heck
it was a reverse catch-22.
Yeah. Heck autocorrect says you do amazing and love ClapTrap in Borderlands 4, so that's awesome. Barley, you read that, kind of like reverse catch-22, whereas always works in your favor. And he says basically, thankfully the chat's not reversed for your camera. And thanks, Barley. Always pointing out the lovely obvious. So Com Gypsy. Com Gypsy wants to. Are you Roger Moore?
I'm the Roger Moore ClapTrap. Yeah, that's what I call myself.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because the thing is, because eventually, if you've played Rush, ClapTrap does break the fourth wall and talks about Borderlands 17. I'm going to be too old for Borderlands 17, and whoever becomes the Timothy Dalton ClapTrap, I'm going to do my best to encourage them. Yeah, so
it's funny because Com Gypsy is basically saying, he says, I for one love Roger Moore as Bond. So
I grew up. I grew up with that Bond.
I know he was the campy one, right? So basically the campy. James Bond.
And this is me coming actor wise. It's like, so he's funny, he's charming. It's like, I call it the hat trick. You've got Spy Who Loved Me, and then you have Moonraker, which is absolutely bonkers. And then and what's that?
It is. It's completely it's insane. Yeah. Completely insane.
And then the coldest, the ruthless Roger Moore Bond ever in For Your Eyes Only. It's at the end where he kicks the dude over. And he's like, don't let me die in my car. And he just basically, he throws like the lapel pin, that he found on his dead friend and just kicks him over the cliff and just like watches him. Yeah. That is the least campy, Roger Moore movie, and it's like,
well what's interesting is I think that we're gonna get totally sidetracked here, guys. So yeah, it is what it is, everybody. So
I'm so sorry.
No, because I love this conversation, because I don't know if a lot of people out there understand, but back in the 80s there was this weird time frame that there was that TV shows and movies, there was this anti-death scene type of thing in violent movies, like the A-Team. I don't know if you guys understand, but the A-Team during the 80s, nobody died on screen. Nobody. Mm-hmm. Like it's like everybody's like, there's crashes and so on, and there was always the call out that you had to show right, if the car flipped over, if the fire was going off, if the machine guns were doing, you always had a shot where somebody was walking away. Every single time, because you could not show any actual death. And I think that was the same time period where that's how it became so campy, because everything was, it had to feel lighter. It had to feel less whatever, which I found interesting of that time frame, of that time period. I don't know if you felt the same way, Jim. Like I mean, because none of those shows had anybody that died. I'm like, and now,
or the TV shows, yeah. I mean, in the movies, man, Bond killed everybody, but but I mean, Moore did it with like a chuckle and a pun, you know, and yeah. But yeah, I mean, what you're talking about, like the Cobra parachutes. I mean, every time a Cobra airplane would blow up, a parachute would magically fly out, and and nobody died.
exactly. Nobody died. Love me Bond conversation. So let's see. So, I mean, basically the next question here on my script here is that, so ClapTrap speaks pretty freely in game. And by freely, I mean, he's got a mouth on him. You've obviously been a copywriter, so you know the intricacies of script writing. Do you act everything exactly as the script, or you do any ad-libbing?
I will read it as written at first. They always, it's like, well, let's take 2 takes, and I'll read it as directed, as written, and then, I mean, not exactly, because ClapTrap will have like a if there's like a stutter or something, or if he's like thinking about something, like and that's to be expected in the first read. But then I will throw something out on the second read, and sometimes they'll go, "Oh my gosh, that's going in." There's, for example,
good. That's awesome.
When he refers to RJ as what's his face, and then the Vault Hunter will go, "Oh, you mean RJ?" And he's like, "Hey, whatever." But then, and he just keeps talking. But then I was like, and he says, "Oh yeah, I told what's his face that. You mean RJ? Yeah, RJ. That's what I said. That's what I just said, clearly." And then anyway, and then he just keeps going. And I threw that out there in the ad lib, and they thought, "Oh, that is going in." And
that's great.
Yeah, and again, in the carols, there is, oh gosh, one of them when I was singing. I ended up singing it slightly off key, and I was like, and I sometimes when I fuck up in a you said it was 21 plus, in a take, I'll just like that was off key, and like in character voice, and everybody was laughing so hard, and they said, and it was like, "Can we use that?" And I shouted so loud that it was off key that I buried the needle, and they couldn't use the recording, so they said, "Okay, do it again. Do what you just did, because it was really funny." And then, so I'm playing the game, and I get to that part, I'm listening, I go, "I forgot to sing off key for the retake." Because I was thinking, don't sing it off key, and I sang it perfectly, and then I was like, I yelled that it was off key, and then I continued singing it again, and I actually said, I don't think that was off key, and they, "Oh no, it's fine." So yeah, it was, but there are a couple ones. There's another one, I don't want to spoil it, but the
spoilers, people, spoilers.
Yeah, there are a couple songs. It was blank gets to be a siren, but not me. And yeah, and I don't want to spoil it, because it's the one carol that's just like, I'm sorry, what? Yeah, it's a deep cut for one of the most controversial characters, one of the most hated characters in the Borderlands universe. So yeah, it's funny.
And that's for the season thing, right? That's for the caroling.
How Rush saved Mercenary Day, which is, I think it's really cool that it's like they were so busy, you know, with all the issues they were having with like the NVIDIA drivers and everything, just trying to optimize it. Right. Like we're fixing it as quick as we can, and that they said, you know what, we weren't able to put everything we really wanted to in this, so we're it's at a good place. It's not as big as we wanted it, but we're giving it to everybody for free. And they're just going to make like another deluxe DLC for people who bought like the season pass and the super deluxe version later. But yeah, so happy Mercenary Day, everybody! You get to play the Mercenary Day bounty pack for free.
Yay! So, that's awesome.
Yeah. Gearbox, a lot. Oh, sorry, I was going to say Gearbox. A lot of people love giving Gearbox shit, but the thing is like they want to do right by everybody. I mean, they're good people work there, you know? It's like, they've never been anything but kind to me. So,
Jim, we here at the Gato have had this conversation so many times. It's pretty funny. We have so most of us have gotten here as friends and as a community from Fallout 76. So basically from the Fallout games, from the Bethesda, right? And so we get to hear, and then we also have, and then also from the Sea of Thieves universe, right? So from Rare and so on, and it's a constant. We always have this conversation. Like every game we've ever played, regardless of anything, it's buggy, right? Everything's buggy. Yeah. But I mean, and if you don't play a buggy game, you're not playing a real game, as far as we're concerned. So that's just the reality of it. But the fact of the matter is that like all these studios get so much shit. Like they're damned if they do and they damned if they don't. Like if they don't release it on time, oh my God, like the world's gonna be like burned on fire, and everybody's pissed off at them, and like everybody goes to social media and like screams bloody murder. And then when it comes out and it has like a few bugs or whatever, it's like, oh my God, this thing sucks. Oh, blah blah blah. I don't understand why they released it so early. It's just like, you guys just shut up.
I remember the first time I really saw firsthand what goes into making, a title like that, a modern console game. Yeah. It was when I was still working on Battleborn, and I was going in to record, and I was like, they were going to give me a tour of like all of Gearbox, and I'm walking by, and here's somebody who's going through making sure all the proper wave files for localization in other languages are tagged. One person is basically working on the bounding boxes, the collision boxes for like the terrain in Battleborn. One person's working on the animation for like the UI. And I call it the Starfleet feeling. It's because you work at an ad agency, you're part of like a 2-person team, and it's like, I'm making a commercial and stuff. But to be part of this grand creative endeavor, there's all these different people in their specific disciplines doing their damnedest to make it as good as they can make it. And to be a part of that, that big, again, it's like being part of Starfleet. It's like, it's so-and-so on the Starship Enterprise. I make this, I make sure this happens. It's like we're, and it feels great to be a part of something like that. Yeah. Like to be a needed part. It's like mine just happens to be more, forward facing. Right. It's it's like I remember leaving the launch party for Borderlands 4, and I mean we ended up shutting the place down. And as I was leaving, I was just in a good mood and I was completely hyped up. I don't really drink that much, but I was super over caffeinated, and I was just like, I just yelled, I said, "Thank you, Gearbox. Thank you for letting me be a part of your game." And it was, I don't know, it's cool.
Cut Jim off.
It's like, what has he had? He's had about 7 Diet Cokes.
Cut him off anyway.
Yeah.
So Calm Gypsy's funny. He drops in here. He's like, it's almost like human beings are making these games. Oh my God.
Nobody sets out to make something not work.
Exactly.
What I mean? And again, they've been like cranking out like all kinds of fixes, like left and right. They're stomping out the bugs as quick as they can. So
right, isn't that amazing? I mean, that's the thing that most people don't give. I mean, again, these hardcore. I call them hardcore trolls. I mean, they go and they play the game, and then they give all these studios such shit, and yet these studios are trying to fix it like constantly. They're trying to make sure everything is good. They're trying to make that they try, and you can kind of see it in all the different like content. Sometimes these games like give you DLCs for free, and I'm like thinking, hey guys, you're not paying for the new content. I mean, cut these people a break. Like
I think people are. I think it's like people are seeing it as the peace offering. It's like which is nice. Yeah. Yeah. There was one glitch that affected me. It's like I finished Harlow, and it's like, okay, well, you need to unlock all the bikes, so you got to go with. So I started Vex, and there's this one glitch that was happening where when you would go into a multiplayer game, all of your skill points would be they would unset.
Right.
Like unequipped.
Unequipped. And so it's like, and that happened to me, and I'm like, son of a gun, and they fixed that literally just yesterday. So
Yeah.
when they put the patch out, because again, it was something they knew, and it was, I'm sure there's like, spaghetti code. They had to find the right noodle and
Yep.
pull it out and fix it and put it back. Yeah. So it's but yeah, it works now. Like Vex has all of her skill points equipped now, which is nice.
So and of course she's got the kitty cat trouble, so that's all that matters.
Yeah.
So I was going to. So the next question, actually, and you kind of like, it was a really nice segue into this. So I was going to ask, how many characters have you voiced in the franchise? And then the second part of this is, and do you play the games? And obviously you do.
Oh.
So which
Oh.
is.
Well, I'll say this, and I was really proud of this. I was at YomaCon, and again, this is my first really, really big convention. It was kind of like intimidating because we're this giant arena, and they're there to see, they're there to see Kieran, and they're there to see Damian Clark, who's like the voice of Handsome Jack, who is stupidly handsome. Like he's too good looking. And they're like, and they say, so do any of you play the games? And and Damien's like, yeah, I play it sometimes. I played it a little bit. And Kieran's like, I'm playing through them chronologically, so I'm playing through Tales right now. So nobody spoil anything for me. And I was like, I just leaned forward and I go, oh, I platinumed that bitch. And it was and everybody laughed because I had literally already platinumed, like I'd platinumed 3 by the time that convention rolled around, because this one's a bit more challenging because you literally have to max out every Vault Hunter.
Nice. Wow, that is, yeah.
But and there's a trophy for End of the Line, which I didn't know was there. And so it's like, and you can't replay it, so you have to go back and play it with another character, and so yeah, it's gonna be the hardest one to get.
Wow.
Okay, let me see if I can count. Okay.
He's gonna go for it.
Jethro Shed, Dirk Smallwood, Skaggy, Jacob's Vending Machine, Fire Fan Man, Lab Rat, Doll Corporation. Oh God. What was the Moral Guy, as he was called? I forgot. Moral, like he's having a moral
dilemma.
Jack says we're the bad guys. Am I a bad guy? I don't feel like a bad guy. Anyway, I forgot General Knox before going to that. So Atlas Corporation, Ice Cream Day Soldier, then Borderlands 3, ClapTrap, the guy who was a farmer whose daughter was eaten by skags.
Sure.
Let's see. Trent the Slut, the Loader Trap, Max Sky. God, there are. I know I'm missing some. Okay, let's go to Borderlands 4. Okay, ClapTrap. I'm the psychos in Borderlands 4 now. The psycho.
Oh my God, you're the psychos! Awesome.
Yeah. Did you see me on the cover? There's another person who also does the base psycho, but that I'm also the line drivers. I'm the chump psychos. I'm like the badass psychos. There was over 14,000 lines of dialogue recorded over a year and a half, all yelling.
Wow.
Yeah. Let's see. So in addition to the psychos, I am Quiet Lemos, who.
So that's quite a difference, right? So you go from like the psychos yelling all the time to somebody who's super quiet. I mean, how much honey tea did you drink throughout the entire thing?
That is okay. So, and again, you'll hear horror stories about like, yeah, they made me scream for like 2 hours until my throat bled.
Right.
So, I'm gonna give him his business card, says voice overlord, Joel McDonald, who's also a voice actor, did a lot of anime. So he knows how hard it is, and he doesn't want us to kill ourselves. So I remember I'm a people pleaser. I don't want to hold up the whole production. The people are working hard, and there was like so much dialogue, and he's like, "How are you doing?" I'm fine. I can do a few more. And he's like, nope. I am.
He can hear it. He can hear it. Yeah.
He's like, I am cutting you off. You need to tell me when you need to stop. And I said, and he goes, we'll why don't we take off next week just so you can, yeah. And he would always check on you. And when I started out, I was maybe getting up to 50, if I was maybe 30 to 50 lines if I was lucky, because it is all screaming. By the end of recording, depending on the length of the queue, I could get up to 100, and when it's more like the reacts like 150. But yeah, it took a year and a half to get all those.
Wow, that's insane, man. That's insane.
I remember counting. I think it's maybe a total of 17 individual named voices in Borderlands 4. There's like a mayor in a hot tub, and he kind of sounds like this, and he's oh yeah, and I don't want to spoil anything for anybody.
Yeah.
It's just like a ton of little NPCs that are just fun.
Do you what do you think? And again, we saw it when we started playing the game, and we saw the new weapons machines. And
yeah.
Wait, how much do you love that weapon machine animation?
Oh, the
gun stroking machine.
Oh, the gun stroking machine.
Yeah, there's the new weapons machine. So there's this animation on the front that basically has the
Are you talking about the actual animation? I thought you meant actually like stroking the actual weapon. I was thinking like the reload animations and stuff. You're talking about the guns.
The guns.
Grenade.
Yeah.
Yeah, and the pistol standing erect.
Exactly. Gearbox has got such a great sense of humor.
There's a lot of innuendo that's looking for hot singles in all my areas. There's other stuff in there that I was like that I did not yell. God, there's one line from the splices, from the splice ones, and I'm just gonna say it. And I was listening, and it's like, you are so getting fisted, and I mean it exactly how you think I mean it. And I was just like, I'm sorry, what? And I was playing with friends at the time, like, did you hear that? Yes, I did. And it was just, what?
Oh man.
Rated M for mature.
Yes. And we love it because it's got such great. The humor is basically just nice and lowbrow, right? So it's just really super fun and just an enjoyable franchise.
This one.
Yeah.
Sorry. Okay, let me go into a tangent. Yeah, this one it's interesting because they wanted to dial back They did this amazing thing, and I think somebody online compared it to like the Yakuza games, where the main story, it has some comic moments, but it's dead serious. There's like real tragedy and drama happening there. And then the side missions and some of the enemies are where it just gets goofy. And in this one, it really, the mesh I think is pretty darn good. Mm-hmm. I have a favorite. I've got a favorite mission with ClapTrap in there that it's. My last favorite was the baby dance mission from Borderlands 3, where he goes to see the dancer who's since been paralyzed and she thinks she can't dance anymore, and he's like, we don't need legs to dance, and he did, because he doesn't have feet.
He's got a wheel. Upstairs.
Yeah, and it was the sweetest story I loved it in Borderlands 3, and in the No Place Like Home mission in Borderlands 4, that was the I'm like, okay, let's record this because they sent me the scripts the night, the week of, and I'm reading it, and it went through some changes because early on there were fewer original characters on Kairos. It was literally him and Zane and everybody was gone. Like Moxie wasn't even in there. She hadn't been written in the script yet, and everything he knew was lost. Like forever, and deep down he's thinking, I'm never going to see these people again.
Right.
And there's this loss that he can't. Yeah. And it was like, and I'm reading this script, and my wife is watching something on TV that I'm kind of like half watching, and I'm bawling, and she's like, "Are you okay?" I'm like, "I'm just reading the script." And it's the first time anybody in the games calls the player by their character name instead of VH or Vault Hunter or Rookie or something like that.
Right.
And he says, thanks, Rafa, you're a good friend. The writer Dante Silva, he asked, this is really important. Can we do this? And then it's the whoever's in charge of making sure sound files play, and they oh yeah, we could do it for this. And actually, because of that, they did it for everybody. You'll notice throughout the course of the game, a lot of people will call you instead of VH or Vault Hunter or Killer. They'll call you by your character's name, which I think is really cool.
Wow.
Thanks, Dante. For yeah, it was I literally, because he's our dungeon master for our Sunday D&D games.
Yeah.
I've been playing D&D with a Gearbox writer for 9 years now. Anyway, that's great. But it's I sent him a message did you write this? At the time it was called ClapTrap of Pandora. Did you write this? He's like, yeah. He goes, something wrong. He goes, you made me cry, you bastard. And it was just yeah. And it was yeah. So and I was really happy that people got the feeling out of that, because it was I need to record that, because it's one of those things where you put everything into it, and it's when he sounds like he's on the verge of crying at the very end. It's I was, because I was.
It's yeah.
I was basically. It's I was thinking about loss. I was thinking about the death of my mother, and it's that's how you get into the feeling. It's things that you wish you were still there, that you could hold and hug, and it's and you just can't. And it's and so you get in that mindset, and then I put that feeling into ClapTrap, and it was and it's and I said I need to record it at the end, because I will probably be legit crying like a baby when we're done recording this. But yeah, and I was afraid that wouldn't come through the voice processing, but I think it really does. And yeah, it's you. He's a good boy.
Yeah.
He just doesn't know how to. He doesn't know how. He's not very socially adept.
that is true. And actually,
he used to say about me.
Yeah. Yeah. Good, Jorge. Actually, that's a lot of people in the chat are basically saying that basically it hit hard. It's a great story. Basically, we have where is so heck autocorrect basically said, yeah, that quest hit hard. Barley was asking, is that the Veronica mission? Yeah. Yep. And
and it's the Remembrance got a hold of her, and that's all they left.
Yeah.
And it's
that's it's pretty, it's like I said, it's pretty amazing when video games transcend, and especially when voice actors this is when we've had we've had different interviews, and it's kind of how do you get into character, how do you get that emotion out? And it's you always have to find that personal story that actually can connect to be able to kind of bring it into your emotional space, right, to be able to get that emotion out in the Awesome, man.
I can share this. Are you going to ask me at any point in time at what goes into ClapTrap? Because I will share this. I'm 52. I was a weird kid, and then find out years later, oh, you've been on the spectrum this entire time. Hyperempathy. So, and it's I treat ClapTrap as that autistic inability to not 100% read the room properly, it's it's something that I've learned over many years, it's but he still can't, because he's ClapTrap, and he just wants people to like him. So he thinks, if all these people are heroes, I'm going to talk a big game and they'll see me as a hero too. Yep. If I talk about it, I'm going to manifest it, right? And so that's why, and so he just doesn't know how to talk to people. He's good inside, but he just comes across as just annoying. And here's the sad part, and this is why one of the saddest parts in the beginning of Borderlands 3, when Lilith goes to touch with the player, she's like, we know ClapTrap can be a little claptrap, but still he's one of us, and he doesn't even know that they feel like that about him.
Aww.
Yeah. So yeah, he just wants
to be loved.
Like
he
all
just
of us,
wants to be loved. It's a classic
Yeah.
story. It's a classic story.
Yeah.
What video game? So we're gonna sidetrack a little bit here.
Okay.
Yep. Because
After I brought the whole thing
a little
down.
emotional there. What video game franchise have you not voiced for, but you really,
Oh,
really, really want an opportunity?
by golly, I mentioned that earlier. Yeah, God, I would kill to be in the Yakuza franchise or any Ryuga Gotoku studio game. I remember playing Yakuza, the PS2 version with the Mark Hamill Goro Majima. It's funny because like they tried to give it a Grand Theft Auto type dub, so every other word somebody's saying fuck, and it's
Yeah.
like, yeah, I love that series, and that honestly, and here's the funny part, you're playing in Japan, and so even though they have started doing dubs in it, I don't play it in English, not because it's like a dubs versus subs thing, but it's kind of like it takes me out of like the feeling of being there if everybody's speaking English.
Yeah,
It's kind of like playing,
yeah.
like Ghost of Tsushima or Ghost of Yote. It's like I play those in Japanese because it feels weird to be like in Edo period Japan and everybody speaking English.
Yep.
So it's kind of like, anime you can get away with it, but it's like when it's something that goes for like a realism, it's like I gotta play it in Japanese. So yeah, but the only time I would ever play Yakuza in English is if I was in it. But I would love to be in it. That or Earth Defense Force. I would love to be in Earth Defense Force. I love that whole franchise.
Wow. Yeah, I think you'd be great in the Yakuza games. I think you'd be fantastic in those. Okay, cool. So let's see here. So basically we talked about Japan. So this is a great segue. So anime, a ton of anime. I'm assuming you've been to Japan quite a few times. What is your favorite area of Tokyo? Because there, for me, I've been there like many times, and there's 3 areas that I absolutely adore: Akihabara, Shinjuku, and Harajuku. So you know the areas, and then we'll let the chat let the chat in on the on what these places are in a minute. But which one do you prefer out of those?
I will say I loved Ghostwire.
Yeah.
It really felt like you were there as well. Okay, so God, the first trip we ever took, I did a series of children's videos, and it's like, okay, that was pretty good. I'm gonna go to Japan, and we went to Japan. And again, it was before pocket Wi-Fi. It was before smartphones, so you had like a phrase book and whatever I learned. But yeah, and Akihabara was just amazing. And it's very different. It was before they built the giant Yodobashi camera.
Right.
It was when Softmap and Beat Camera, and they were all like separate stores before they kind of like started conglomerating into one.
Right.
God, it was just like hunting for treasure.
Yeah.
I remember one of my most prized video game possessions. I don't know if anybody here has played Rez, and the trance vibrator, which was just like the block that would buzz, and you would plug it into the PS2 and it would just buzz to the rhythm of the music, but it would buzz like at a different frequency, like a different beat than like the controller, and it was like it's like being at a rave. There was an article that basically tore through the internet about the other uses of the trance vibrator, but it was like this legendary thing. And so the Softmap and Akihabara, they had in like their clearance bin with the yellow tags.
Yep.
Trance vibrator, 500 yen.
Nice.
I'm buying one. Yeah, it's it's like I had to hunt down a copy of Electroplankton, a physical copy of it, because that's never going to get released on the DS here. And
so many games do not get released here that I absolutely would just love. Yeah.
Yeah, Akihabara has become more definitely more. In that day, actually we had already been to Japan. We had already been in Japan like a few days. The first like American we ran into was on that third day when we went to Akihabara, and he was at like the Vie de France, and where we got breakfast before everything opened. And it was just, now it's like, you can't walk through Tokyo without bumping into like 20 other people visiting.
Yeah,
it's really strange how popular it's become. But yeah, but even though Akihabara has become more of like a tourist attraction, and a lot of the smaller shops, a lot of them have been pushed out, but it's just the ones that are still there. I I love it. It's the place still feels just alive.
Well, it's Electric City, right?
Yeah,
I mean,
it's Electric City, yeah,
Electric
yeah.
Cities, yeah. So basically, if
Yeah.
you guys don't know out there, so the three areas that I mentioned. So Akihabara is basically considered Electric City. Basically, you can get that's where you get your video games. That's where you get your electronic parts. There's places you can go. There's just bits and pieces and parts of people being able to make their own computers, their own everything. It's basically cyberpunk in all its forms. There's these back alleys you can go down, and there's these little side areas where they got these bits and pieces. It's absolutely insane. Then there's Shinjuku, which is like basically a neon city. So it's this huge buildings. You have these noodle shops at the bottom on the side streets. Noodle shops. You got these. You can turn one corner, and it does feel exactly like cyberpunk. It has like these just long neon signs and just these little narrow walkways in the background. That's absolutely insane. And then there's Harajuku, which is basically Toyland. So Harajuku is like you can go there and you can see all these people in anime costumes. It's like basically Toyville. It's like this super fun like
It's their fashion capital pretty much.
Yep, Tokidoki, like the whole thing. It's like it's just super super fun. I mean, Japan. If you guys ever want to invest in something that you will never ever forget, it's totally worth the money. Save up and go to Tokyo. I cannot recommend that enough. It's just an entire experience you will never ever ever forget. So and it'll just stay with you. It absolutely will.
And when you do go, those are like the really really big areas. Slightly less big, but everybody knows about them now. So Nakano Broadway is a nice place for like anime and games and toys and stuff like that. And Ikebukuro is becoming pretty amazing as well. That's where you find like the One Piece store and
I haven't been there in years. I haven't been there like in 6 years now. So
but yeah, it's
changed.
There are places. It's interesting. There are quieter places in Tokyo. It's crazy how many people are there now, and so it's like again, like Harajuku is so crowded now. It has changed a lot. Like it's so different from when you were there, like even 6 years ago.
Yeah.
A lot of the stuff has basically a lot of like the small indie designer shops have closed and have become cafes for tourists. It's become more of a tourist attraction than what it used to be.
Yeah, that's sad. That's sad. But the food's great, guys. Food's great.
Oh yes.
So do you ever get into one of those lost in translation moments between Japanese and English wording? So when you're at a point in a script where you're like, wait a minute, is that right?
Oh, in a script?
Yeah.
Or yeah. Okay, so here's the thing. I early translations, Fairy Tale. There's the character Urza Scarlet. Urza. What kind of a name is Urza? I will go to my grave. It's supposed to be, because it's a tapped R. There's no L. There's no.
Right.
There is an L, but it's like there's no R. So it's like, it's Erza. It could be Erza. It could be Urza. But I'm pretty sure, me personally, I will go to my grave believing it's supposed to be Elza, like for Elizabeth.
Right,
Elza.
right.
So I have a character. Anybody watch One Piece during the Grand Magic Games arc? There's Mato, the pumpkin man, who's secretly the king. And in the manga, I'm reading ahead, and he says, I want that team member from Fairy Tale to play. What was their name? And he's thinking of Elfman.
Okay.
But then he can't remember. The name starts with L, and so they put in Elza. I'm sorry, Urza. And so I remember, and the director warned me about this. I asked him about it. He goes, yeah, that's the thing we're going to have to figure out. You have to be confused between and L, which it makes perfect sense in Japanese because it's the Erufman.
Right.
Eruza, And so I went, what was their name? I can't remember. And so he's like, I can't remember. And so that's where the mistake happens because he said, and it kind of worked.
Yeah.
I'm also Liza Hawkeye. Again, I don't know how many people agree with me. I think her name is supposed to be Liza, but again, it's interesting translation, you know, and like what the license holders, you know, prefer.
Right.
It's because I mean her name's not Elizabeth, right? It's you know, maybe she goes to the same planet Commander Riker does. I don't know. I don't. But it's you know, it's in the 90s. There was an anime called Elemental. It was sold on the box Elemental Gelade, and there were people that called it Elemental Gelade. But then in the show, there in the dialogue, they talked about people and the different elemental grades in the thing, and it's like just because the kana is there, it's not, you know, the kana is they're basically translating the word grade into katakana, and so sometimes when things would get translated back, they would add the extra vowels and stuff that were there to, you know, like, you know, I remember our first trip, there was a billboard for, not Last Man on Earth. That's like the Charlton Heston one. The Will Smith movie. I'm the last person on Earth. It's based on a Richard Matheson novel.
God.
Anyway, so, but it's like
I Am Legend. I Am Legend.
I Am Legend. Yeah, I Am Legend. And like, and the katakana is Wiru Samis. And so, like, imagine if, like, the character, like, if a Japanese author wanted to have an American king named Will Smith, and then if it was translated here in the U.S. as Wiru Smiths. You know what I mean? It's like,
Yes.
like really, yeah. Like
Yeah.
I think really early translations were probably mistranslated like that. But with the advent of the internet and how easy it is to get to learn the basic language and stuff like that. I recommend Pimsleur lessons if you have a commute or you just like want to sit and listen for 30 minutes.
Yep.
I think people are translating names and stuff like that more accurately now.
Yeah.
I think it's like just early on in the early 2000s, there was so much coming through, and it's like Ryza, you know. So again, that's me. I'm not in the translation department. I'm just an actor. I just go in and read the stuff. So yeah,
always interesting. Always interesting, especially when you got to be doing be doing voiceover for, you know, for that site. It's kind of interesting. Like, you know, is this right? What is this supposed to be saying? So we I'm gonna do some fast tracking here because we are we are at the hour and 35 mark. So we this is about 15 more minutes here, Jim, with you. But we got lots of questions coming in from the from our community. I want to make sure I get to some of those. But I do want to ask the most important question on here, and I've been watching him or her back there on the chair for a while now. So I hear you have 4 cats. Who are they, and what are their personalities, and who is the ringleader?
So the oldest is Momiji, or Miji. He's our first orange cat, so we named him after you know, the Japanese maple leaves when they turn orange. And so
Is he crazy? Is he a crazy cat?
He is. And he has very specific fixations. He's very and it's like he talks the most, and he you know, he does, you know, he'll basically go find his brush, and he is if you pick him up, you might eat him. You know, all of our cats were ferals, you know, at some point in time. Either they were adopted or they showed up on our porch, or or their mother showed up on our porch. And he's a little stupid, but he's like stupid but smart. You know what I mean? It's like we love him. He's also the fuzziest one, and his hair is very light, and literally, like, if you see a sunbeam during the day, it's floating in the air, and somehow it always finds its way directly onto the surface of my eyes. And also, if you pet him, he loves it so much, he just starts drooling like a faucet.
Oh, wow.
And then he'll shake his head and fling it everywhere. It's just like,
Okay.
So,
I mean, there's an entire subreddit dedicated to orange cats called One Orange Brain Cell.
yes.
So, like, I feel like that cat deserves to be posted on there.
Yeah. Okay, so our only girl, Ika, short for Ikaruga. She is named for the treasure shooter, the black and white double-sided ship and enemies. She's our first tuxedo. So She showed up on our porch in October 2020, completely abandoned. We
Aw.
were like, "Where's the rest of your family?" She was like small. Her eyes were still blue.
Aw.
So everybody had already taken in their pandemic pets at that point in time. So it's like, I guess we got a new cat, and we had to teach her how to poop and stuff like that. For kittens to teach them how to poop, you have to like
I know.
pretend you're a mama. Yeah, look it up.
You have to take
warm
like
wash rag.
Yeah, wash rag on
Yeah.
the butt,
It's
and
like
you got to put
decorating a
them in
cake.
in the spot, and like
Oh,
yeah.
Decorating a cake, write your name in cursive. It's
Yep.
You know what? I'm not gonna look
she-
it up because I feel like my search history is already bad enough. But I'm gonna take your word for it.
yeah. It's So basically, a mother cat to teach a kitten how to poop will basically lick their butt
Yep.
until
They
to,
poop.
to stimulate the action of like, let that go,
Yep.
baby kitten.
Okay.
So humans will use like a wet cloth,
Yes.
wet warm cloth, and just kind of like, okay, there you go. Oh, there it goes. Oh my god. Yeah, and it's we've had to do that before with like one of our previous cats. She grew up with the oldest cat who passed last year. We had to put him down. He had kidney disease for like 3.5 years. He was like a little Timex. It was Takubin. He was black cat. He was a Manx, the only one in his litter, and he looked like the kitten in the Yamato Transport logo. You might have seen it. It's a yellow.
Oh yeah, with the two
oval.
kitties,
There's
the kitty, and it's holding
the mama cat carrying the kitten. The kitten doesn't have it. It's like it's got a round butt, no
Yep.
tail. So the Takubin service of transporting your stuff, your luggage and everything. So we named him Takubin, and we just called him Beanie. So okay, so Ika, short for Ikaruga. When my wife and I went to Japan in 2023, like right when they opened the border, we found like an incredible deal on tickets, and it's like, oh, we're going, because we were saving up before the no, I can't answer my sister's phone call. I told her I was doing a podcast tonight. We were trying to catch this pregnant feral cat. We're like the TNR trap neuter release king and queen of our neighborhood, because people seem to abandon their pets here a lot. It sucks. And then without fixing them. So
Of
we
course,
were trying to catch
of
her.
course.
She was very wily. Yeah. So we go to Japan 2 weeks later, in our jet lag stupor, we managed to catch her at 3 a.m. literally, like a day after we get home. So my wife has a friend who runs like a horse barn, and they have like, we're going to try to train her to be a barn cat. And she's like, I hate you so much. Just like, and
How
and so
dare you
there's,
make
like,
me a barn
setup-
cat?
Yeah, exactly. And so we're trying to like peoplefy her, and son of a bitch, a day after that, she has 4 kittens. We find homes for all 4, and then like the one person who is going to take the boy, the others were girls. One was a fluffy tortie, one was a fluffy calico, one was solid gray, and then we had the tabby, who was the only boy. And then the person who's going to take him was like a friend of a friend of a friend, so we really didn't know her. Didn't answer any of my wife's calls or text messages until like the and the one thing, it was like any home that he goes to, we really, because we've got coyotes and stuff in Texas. It's like we would like him to be an indoor cat, and the person was like, he's going to be indoor outdoor. And she said, we were basically going and feeding these kittens twice a day, for like a couple months. It's
Yeah,
like, it's really important
we're
to
not
us.
making coyote
Yeah.
food here, people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the person got really defensive and like super rude, and my wife was like, fine. And so we were desperately trying to figure out where else can we find a home for him. And it's like, well, I guess he's gonna be ours. So so that is Minobu. He is named for a favorite town that we visit. You do a shukubo there at a place called Kakorinbo. It's like a temple stay. It's like we've gone there twice. It's lovely. And then a week before, we had to put Beanie to sleep.
Aw.
Son of a gun, this white kitten shows up out of the water runoff gutter in our neighborhood.
Yeah.
Just shows up, comes crawling out in the corner. It's like my wife's, we're driving somewhere, and she's pulling out, she's driving, and she's like, look at that. What? There. Where? The gutter. And I go, oh gosh, it's a kitten. So she's like, hold on. stops the
Sure,
car,
let's go
and
get a
she
new
gets
cat.
a can of food, and she sets it out, and basically eventually lures him to our house. And there's another one of my, my wife has, she's visiting family, and I managed to trap him. So this is a week after we had to put Beanie down. And so it's like, okay, I'm taking him to the barn, gonna get him set up, gonna feed him. And he was like, most ferals are just like, I'm gonna stay. And he was more trusting. I was training while he's eating. I would put my hand next to him, so he wouldn't be afraid of my hand. Then, okay, I'm gonna start touching him with my thumb while he's eating. And then he started letting me pet him. And then I was sending my wife pictures because, she's visiting family.
Yeah.
And she's like, are you gonna try, picking him up? And I'm like, I might do that next week. And then after I finished texting, I'm like, fuck it. And I pick him up, and he's like, oh my God, he's purring. And he likes picky
all right,
uppies.
we got another cat.
Yeah. And I sent her the picture. Yeah. I sent her, and it's like I just lost, my little tailless wonder boy, right?
Aw.
And I just sent her this picture in all caps. He likes picky uppies. And by this time we had gotten his ear notch and everything, and his shots and stuff.
Yeah.
And he ended up coming home with us.
Of
and
course he did.
He's a white tabby tuxedo, like white and gray.
Mm-hmm.
He's named Kodama. My wife says he's named for the Kodama in Princess Mononoke.
Mm-hmm. Oh, okay.
I named him for the slowest Shinkansen route on the Tokaido Shinkansen line. Because he loved us very fast, right?
Yeah.
But the thing is, he's still very slow. It's like, I love you, but I'm gonna approach you very cautiously. And see, the reason why the Kodama is the slowest line is because it makes every stop
along the way.
Yeah, it's the fastest train in between every stop. So it's the slowest fast train. Yeah.
Well, that's awesome, Jim. We love hearing about all the kitties. So, love hearing about your kitty family and the fact that you do take in the strays, because it's always good to kind of keep the kitties. You want to make sure that they're taken care of and neutered and all that kind of jazz. So, so thank you. All right, we are going to jump to our viewer questions here. So, first one out of the gate, we got Katie. Katie Mean Green comes in with, what's the most fun or unusual direction you've ever received in a recording booth?
Okay,
good question, Katie.
This is early on, and this was my first video game gig ever, and it was for Unreal Championship 2, the Leandry conflict on the Xbox. And there's one cue, and it says slow, painful death, and in parentheses, on fire. And it's like I had lunch shortly before I went to Taco Bell. And it's like,
okay.
and it's like, okay, I'm gonna give this, and I give like this slow, painful death on fire, screaming at the top of my lungs, and fart in the booth. Because you're and it's like, and I'm thinking, oh my God, please don't let the mic have picked that up. Please don't let the mic have picked that up. Luckily, they didn't say anything. I didn't say anything. Luckily, I was the last session that day, so nobody had to go into the booth after me. But that was. Oh, wait, one more. I actually want to make a T-shirt of this line for Dragon Ball Sparking Zero. Giant Janemba or Super Janemba, the big yellow giant baby monster. Looks like a giant yellow boo. And the direction for the exerts and stuff like that, the exerts, that's what they're called. It said power comparison by hands, because it was machine translated like in a hurry. And we were trying to figure out, what is power comparison by hands? And it was like all caps, because all of it seemed very important. And we realized, it's grappling, like when your characters go into a grapple.
Yes.
Right.
But power comparison by hands, I just want a T-shirt that says that, like in all dramatic caps, because it sounds really badass. Power comparison
100%
by hands.
Yeah. So
awesome.
There you go.
Our next question comes in from Portalman. Are there any voice lines you recorded that you wish you gotten into that had gotten into the games, but instead got cut?
Oh my. Okay. All right. So in Battleborn, um, it was there was
Okay, this is good.
okay. So it was there were these minion callouts. The character Isaac, who is like this he was an AI who used to be consumer facing, and he was incredibly horrible and mean and hateful. But he sounded really nice doing it. And at one point in time during PvP, like random minions will pop up, and he would say, "That minion is named so and so," and then he would describe them. And this is where the writer was like sneaking in names of friends and loved ones. Like, can I do one? I'm like, that minion is Karen. She teaches children and loves horses. For this, she will be killed. It's like we wrote one for Randy Pitchford. It's like, that minion is Randy. He loves magic and has an incredible shirt collection. Because like he always has this really cool, like very, very extravagant, like very flashy shirts.
Yeah.
Man, he has the coolest shirts when you see him in person. They're even cooler. For this, those, because it got too busy, because you can't have callouts like that in the middle of like, strategic PvP.
Right.
And so all those callouts were cut. But the fact that, my wife almost got in there.
Oh, that's great.
I got a reference to Michi in there though.
Oh, that's cool. That's cool.
I am so angry I could punch a kitten. It was a respawn line because I like that kind of that dark Miji off the mantle. I will punch a kitten. Do I have to punch a kitten? I would never punch a kitten. But that got into the game. So yeah.
I love that. That's actually great. I will punch a kitten. So we got one coming here from Barley. Mm-hmm. Is there any difference in preparation for a role between a video game character that will be replayed over and over among millions of gamers over years versus maybe a role in a show, movie, that will only be aired in one episode in a series?
I would say no, because every character has their own story. Mm-hmm. This is something that I probably go overboard with. It's like I'm not Jared Leto. I'm not like that type of actor. But like even if it's like a ramen chef that has like maybe 3 lines in only one episode, and it's like I'm thinking I never worked food service, but I worked a shit ton of retail, and it's like you're always trying to help people and stuff, and it's like hey, we got another miso over here, and it's just you get into that headspace of, what is this character doing? You know, and even if it's a small bit, I like to think that maybe it gives a little bit of realism to it. It's, I record grocery store commercials for, sometimes, and I used to do it like at a studio, and I used to skip breakfast that morning, so I would feel extra hungry while I was recording. I don't know if it's even detectable, but on subconscious level, I'm hoping that how hungry and how much I wanted food came through when I was saying things like Northwest Red Cherries for only $1.99. Yeah, so
you're almost a method actor, basically. You're like in it,
Yeah, but in a like method though is don't call me Jim, call me ClapTrap. I mean it's I'm not like you hear the stories about on Back to the Future how Eric Stoltz was like really shoving and pushing Thomas Wilson, the guy who's playing Biff, to the point where he was getting bruised on his chest. And it was like, that was one of the he tells that story of that's the day before they let Eric Stoltz go. I guess he was like, it was just, his intensity was just like not really fitting the feel. It's
the vibe. The vibe was wrong. Yeah.
I'm not going to judge anyone's, way of acting. There's no one method. There's like a method you can teach, but it's like, when I started, there's a show called Gunslinger Girl, and it was the first time I got like a character, and the first time I got a named character with drama. Mm-hmm. And I go back and I listen to that and I cringe. I cringe because at the time I was thinking, this is how a depressed, self-loathing character sounds. When what I should have been thinking in my head when I was recording is, this is how this character feels. It's like I was thinking more, how does it sound, as opposed to, thinking about sad thing. It really does help when you speak, because there's an honesty to it.
Right.
And yeah, that's another thing. It's like I do prefer like the more grounded stuff. It's fun doing crazy, anime, but I really love the more realistic stuff.
Yeah.
Which is why I like that's why I loved doing that bit with that mission with ClapTrap, because you've got this crazy ass ClapTrap voice, but he's really
a nice
distraught.
guy. Yeah.
Yeah, and he's really distraught because everything he knows is gone. So it's like I'm glad that I was able to like combine those two. And anyway, yeah. So I guess you could say that is my method, but it's not obsessive. I don't have to basically, drag myself upstairs because I can't step, and then
Yeah.
and then basically scream at the top of my lungs, talk at max volume all the time, and yeah, I'm not. Yeah, I don't do the Leto thing.
Gotcha. Yeah, Leto's a little intense. So
and every character gets the same kind of prep, pretty much.
Yeah. Next question coming in again. Another one from Barley. ClapTrap was introduced into Fortnite. It was with the launch of Borderlands 3 when you first took over the role. Were there separate takes that had to be done specifically with Epic Games for the voice work, or did they take segments previously recorded work from within sound bites and put that into the game?
That was all originally recorded, and it was crazy because, this was, I didn't realize just how I mean, I should have known because, David was in like a ton of commercials and he was in Poker Night 1 and 2. I mean, ClapTrap was like everywhere. And I get this email from my agent, and everything is like code worded and everything like that, and it's for Epic, and I'm thinking, oh shit, I bet this is for Fortnite. And sure enough, it was for Fortnite. Yeah, those are all freshly recorded lines.
Wow.
Yeah, it's fun thing about Fortnite, whenever they introduce a new character, like occasionally I'll say, hey, can somebody send me a picture of ClapTrap sitting on Isaac Clarke's back? Oh god, and somebody will post a picture. There's ClapTrap sitting on. It's like, they're both they both build and work in electronics and stuff like that and everything. But one of them has a much worse day.
Much worse day. The next question comes from Sulior. Are there any other voice actors that inspired you to get into it yourself? A lot of times, the people that go to is Mel Blanc. While that's totally valid, I'm interested in if there are any others as well.
A lot of Mel Blanc, of course, but a ton of the '80s. Again, the Sunbow, G.I. Joe, Transformers. Okay, so at GCX, when I was a kid, and we were playing Transformers in the schoolyard, I love the British accent, and so I'm doing my little, like
who doesn't,
British
Jim?
accent.
Who doesn't?
Yeah, and it's like, so I was like, oh, we're Decepticons, I'm Shockwave. We're Autobots, I'm Perceptor. And Paul Eiding's at GCX, and I'm like, oh my god, he's one of several actors, but one of the main ones that really set me on that path. Again, weird kid, actually autistic, mimicking every fucking cartoon character that he saw on TV, right?
Yeah.
And I told him, I said, you set me on this path in a really weird way. And then he busts out the Perceptor voice, and it's just like, oh my god. And what I loved about it is that Paul and Peter and Mark and, oh my god, I'm terrible at names. It's so weird. He was just on, and he was Optimus Prime in
Neil.
And Neil Kaplan, yeah.
Yep.
Jesus. Neil, I'm sorry if you watch this. And it's like, and the fact that they treated me as an equal there, like as a colleague, and this is somebody I mimicked as a child, whose work I like adore, and he's like, oh yeah, hey, you're one of us, and it was very humbling, but I was very grateful to just be considered a colleague by those guys. It's like it was
It's a moment,
Yeah.
right? It's a moment.
Yeah.
Last question coming in from our crew before we get to the rapid fire 10 questions is from Wahui. On the IMDb, it says that you began your career on commercials, Hasbro toys. Any fun lines or memorable moments from the early days as Mr. Potato Head?
Okay, so this Mr. Potato Head. Okay, so he didn't actually say any dialogue. There's a thing where, like, when people hear Mr. Potato Head talk, they immediately think of Don Rickles because of Toy Story. So Hasbro, so it was not actually for the toy this time, but it was for the family game night on the Wii. I think it was like Family Game Night 2. And you see him, he kind of like flip-flops, onto the next to the logo, and he's like, and he just, and I just did a bunch of reacts like that.
Yeah.
So that was what I did for Mr. Potato Head. But I will tell you this story about, remember the big Unicron that came out with Transformers Energon? That oh man. And so when I did the initial read, I basically just pulled an Orson Welles, and it was like I had him speaking like this, and then they pitched him down. That's my old man Orson Welles.
In the post, they pitched him down. Yeah.
Yeah. And man, the people at Hasbro was like, that doesn't sound scary. Make it sound scary. Make him and so they maybe go, the universe is mine. I'm like, that doesn't sound like Unicron, but that's what they want. So, I said something like the universe is mine, and then just to get that
right
Wellsy sound. But no,
they wanted something a little more evil.
Yeah. So.
Awesome. So Jim, we are at time, which means we get our final 10 questions here, and these are rapid fire. So let's see how you do. You ready?
Okay. Just say no. To be honest, I did not look at what you had written down because I really wanted it to be
a surprise
off the hip. Yeah.
All
a
right.
Surprise.
Here we go.
Yeah. So.
All right. Rapid fire. Marvel or DC?
Marvel. I started on the Claremont New Mutants.
There you go.
Nice.
What camera do you use most often?
I have a ZV-E10. I started out with a Minolta Maxim. That was a hand-me-down from my father. And then when Sony bought all that stuff, I was able to basically carry all that stuff into the Sony family digital cameras. And that's why I recently got a new one. And it was a ZV-E10 because it was not $3,000. I'm the hobbyist, not a professional.
Gotcha. Fantastic. Actually, Sony makes great cameras. Their chips obviously are in most things that are amazeballs. Do you own a robot?
We got a cheap-ass robot vacuum from, not a Roomba, it was like the Ice Shark or something like that, and it was the biggest pile of shit. It was like, you had to use an app, and it was just not good. No. I guess you could say my insulin pump and the I'm type 1 diabetic since 83. That makes me my medical definition, a cyborg, as I had that written in my bio. It's true. So... Me?
Well, I was gonna say, and do you have a name? I have a name for it, so I guess it's me.
No, it's the Tandem T Slim X2. That's the model number. So,
if you could travel back in time, what civilization would you most want to visit in its prime?
Jesus. I'm gonna say, am I impervious from death?
Yes.
Okay, I'll just say Edo period Japan because it's like I love all the cool futuristic fun anime video gamey woohoo stuff, but I really love traditional
samurais,
and stuff like that.
Samurais and everything. Yeah.
And I'll be like, wow, it really was horrible, depending on where you were in society, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's
I think that is actually the most. So that's why I have that question there, because I find that to be the most interesting thing is that we have romanticized, and again, I get it. I romanticize the pirate culture. I romanticize the Edo period. I romanticize there's an Egyptian period. That's all the Greek, there's all of these, and the Aztecs, right? All the Aztec and Mayan type of civilizations. And then if you really, really, really think about it, and you go back and you think about, my God, dysentery, rickets, Let's see what else.
The smell
Scurvy,
alone.
the smell, the you
Another thing, it's
you die before 30.
Yeah. I mean, I'm half Filipino. Right now, it's like the way I don't know where the light and cameras work. I look kind of whitish. But the thing is, if I stand out in the sun, I'm brown. You know, and it's like yeah. If I went to Japan, there's less of a chance that like I would, be murdered. I guess that's like I would fit in. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I gotcha. I understand what you're saying. I understand what you're saying.
Like the cowboy. If I went to like the cowboy era in the West, go out there and build the train tracks.
Yeah.
Because they basically like indentured servant to like Chinese immigrants to like build railroads and stuff.
Pretty much. Yeah. Actually, the whole story about Japan, Korea, and China is so. I mean, if you guys want to hear about some fucked up shit, you guys need to read that particular history of those 3 countries. It's pretty wild. Gypsy's basically saying, yeah, but we're all dead by 30. Can't even make it to Logan's Run age.
God, all my young colleagues, like a lot of them, when they turn 30, I go, you need to watch the movie Logan's Run. They're like, what? You bring it up Logan's Run. I turned 30. I was visiting family in Florida for the summer, and at Tampa Bay Center, they used to have a carousel there. Oh yes, I did. I went and I rode that fucking merry-go-round at Tampa Bay Center, and I got off of it. I stepped off of that carousel, so I renewed my ass. Thank you very much.
There you go, renewed. All right, back
in the one of the dorkiest things I have ever done.
Back in the mix. Mexican or Tex-Mex?
Gosh.
Oh yeah, tough question. By the way, guys. He lives in Texas, so that's why this question's in here.
There's so much crossover. It's really, I don't know where True Mexican stops and Tex-Mex starts, but yeah, you know what? There's a restaurant actually in our town that is straight up like they have some Tex-Mex stuff, but it's a separate menu. I'm gonna go with pure Mexican. Yeah.
There you go. That's that. And by the way, guys, that is the right answer.
I was waiting for that part. Okay.
That is
a little biased. Never hurt anybody.
Yes, I am very biased.
I will say somewhere in Dallas, there's a restaurant that just opened up, and I think it's Mexican Chinese fusion. And
okay, my head's
that
hurting.
Yeah. The thing is, it's because there's a group on Facebook, Asian Grub, Asian Grub and DF Dub. That's the name of it. And I'm barely on Facebook anymore because it's all. But the thing is that it's like if they post something, it's like yeah. And so that's I need to go back and find the post because maybe we'll do that this weekend.
That does sound good.
Oh, there you go. All right.
I like those weird fusion places.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's gonna be. I hope it's good. It could be amazing. So yeah.
Like roast pork carnitas.
I mean, yeah. One of the best plations I ever ate at was in New York was Chinese Cuban fusion restaurant called Flor de Mayo, and that was like 25 years ago, and I still remember how good it was.
That's great. Favorite original Godzilla movie?
Godzilla versus the Smog Monster, as it was called when I saw it. Golly, there's all these rumors, and people are speculating that Hedorah might actually be in Godzilla -0 because of like the shape of the G is different. It's like his fly. It's funny because when watching it as an adult, that is the most 1970s hippie Godzilla of all of them. It is the most
very woke people. Very woke.
It is
very woke.
It's I mean, it is, like I said, the grooviest Godzilla.
Yes. Because it's all anti basically
pollution.
Smog and pollution and the whole thing. Yeah. It's so funny.
Hedorah grew out of our pollution. So.
100%. What was your last Lego build?
Oh gosh. The last Lego technically it was oh god, I went kind of nuts. Was it the Lucky Cat or was it the Game Boy? Technically, it was the Game Boy.
The Game Boy.
Because I did the Lucky Cat first because it was smaller and I did the Game Boy.
Game Boy, very nice.
The Game Boy was second. Yeah.
Yep. Very, very cool. Very cool.
Oh man, the Enterprise is so expensive.
I know.
I did pre-order the Speed Champions DeLorean.
Well, I have the Speed.
Yes,
I have
just saw that.
Yeah, I have the Speed Champions, the Aston Martin. But seriously, did you see the price on that on the Star Wars Death Star?
Yes.
Holy mother of pearl! It's $1,000.
Yeah,
it's.
But I mean, they went all out. I mean, there's every character you could possibly imagine in that thing. I mean, it's pretty robust.
Yeah.
But it's $1,000.
It's weird. It's like a slice. It's a slice of the.
Yeah.
And they're doing this thing now where it's like they're like the gift with purchase is like, oh, here's room for the gift with purchase, but if you don't order it in time, you don't get it, and so you just have like this blank thing in the hanger. Like this space for the if I had the money to spend on that or the Enterprise, I would buy the Enterprise because that Death Star slice nowhere near as cool as the actual round Death Star that they made a few years earlier.
That's true, and that Enterprise looks really cool. That Enterprise looks really cool. It looks so awesome. Do you think ClapTrap would make a good GPS voice?
I think so. It would be fun. Oh my gosh, that would be a lot of fun.
On Waze? That would be great.
Yeah, wouldn't that be great?
I mean,
that would be fantastic.
So, it's because he's not all obnoxious all the time. When he's instructing you, like in the opening tutorials, he could be less abrasive.
Yeah.
And then maybe he'll like throw out like a
no, stop! Don't turn right.
Yeah, I don't want to be responsible for anybody getting in a car wreck because of me. Oh my god, that'd be awful.
If you could have one, matcha tea or pumpkin spice latte?
Matcha tea, by far. Pumpkin spice is in everything now. Of course, matcha tea is like in everything now too, but matcha.
Matcha. There you go. When the AI robots rise up, team robot or team human?
I don't think they'd be able to choose because of the insulin pump, but oh god. I mean, I'd have to stick with Team Human. I mean, it's like,
So you're not going to bow down to our AI overlords?
I mean, it's like, God, have you guys watched Alien Earth?
I have been watching it. Yeah, it's kind of freaky.
It's like what side are they on?
I don't know.
Are they Team Human or Team Robot? What is it?
Yeah.
Something in between? It's like, that is not a question that can be answered that easily on a rapid fire. Holy moly. It's a tough question, Shreds. What's going on? It's kind of like, that's where the autism kicks in. It's like, well, let me weigh the different options. It's too easy to like get lost in the reads on this one. So yeah.
For sure. All right. So that is the end of our rapid fire questions, which means we get to the end here. We get to ask you, Jim, what, first off, we get to appreciate your time. Thank you so much for coming in here to the Gato. I hope you had a good time. I hope you had a good time.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Awesome. We had an awesome time. Everybody in chat had an amazing chat. We got lots of clapping kitty paws out there. Is there anything you're working on currently that you'd like to announce, that you'd like to make sure people are keeping an eye out for?
Well, there's oh shoot. See again,
NDA,
NDAs, man.
NDA.
There's something that I think will be announced shortly. It's a small role, but it's a small show, and I was really happy to be a part of it. And it's a different role than you would think, but I you know what? They already put the preview for episode 2 up there. Does anybody watch Landman?
Yeah.
Anybody who watches Landman? Okay, so listen to the radio in the next episode.
All right, cool.
Yeah. There's a radio show that Billy Bob Thornton's character listens to, and we show up in a few episodes. So.
Oh, that's awesome!
I'm really excited. I want to be glued to the TV. Yeah.
That's awesome, man. That is awesome. Yeah, that's very different than what you've been doing. So that's fantastic.
It is different.
Yeah.
It's like I share a scene with Academy Award winner Billy Bob Thornton. How crazy is that? What?
That is crazy. That is so cool, and that's actually a great like kind of like a transition into like other things, right? Which is amazing. That's awesome.
It's nice. It's like there's Texas incentives. It's like you can film here and get incentives, but 1/3 of your entire crew, cast, whatever, needs to be people living in Texas.
Exactly.
Which is it's nice. So yeah.
Yeah, I don't want. Yeah, that's fantastic. I love that. All right, we are going to, guys, make sure you put in hashtag ClapTrap. We get to do the giveaway right now, because we get to do the giveaway of the ClapTrap mug here, which is a very nice mug. Look at this mug; it's so nice, ceramic. This is the U2's edition right there. So there's that. And of course, that comes with this bad boy, the thing that Jorge seems to be really just jonesing over here, is the Borderlands collector's box with the Butterfinger. Butterfinger.
Don't kink shake me.
there's no kink shaming. No kink shaming. The Borderlands collectors with the Butterfinger flavored cold brew and the shaker and the code for Echo 4. So guys, put it in there, hashtag ClapTrap. And we'll do that giveaway before we say good night to our guest, Jim Foranda, guys. Jim Foranda.
Thank you very much.
Let's get that giveaway going here. All right, Jim. Here we go. We're gonna give this away. All right, everybody. Hashtag. Come on. Hashtag ClapTrap. Last call for alcohol. And the winner is Miss Max. Woo. Miss Max, congratulations. You got yourself a ClapTrap mug as well as the Butterfinger Madrinas set. Congratulations. Cats meowing, coming in here with hashtag rigged. Oh my God. Come on, people.
The advertising, my advertising brain still wonders why nobody did a butter clamp wrapper for ClapTrap.
Ooh.
Like just in the Butterfinger font. Like the Snickers bars?
Yeah. Because he has that look. Yeah, it makes perfect sense.
Yeah, and he doesn't have fingers. He's got his clamps.
Yeah, that would have been.
If I was pitching it, I would have pitched that to the candy company. Butter clamp.
That would have been absolutely fantastic.
Anyway. So.
All right, we are going to raid out of here as we say goodnight to our friend here. We are going to raid we're going to go over to Ma Tater. Let's see, Ma Tater is playing Fortnite tonight, which means that she's going to probably have some, so Jorge, isn't there like a ClapTrap thing going on over there right now?
Yeah, they actually just put it back into the shop. So they had the Psycho, they had Moxie, they had because the ClapTrap is the backpack.
Is the backpack, yeah.
The back bling, yeah. So when you're playing around, you'll hear the voice lines as you're playing. I have a few friends that's like their main.
I wonder if he's riding around anywhere on Homer Simpson. Because they're doing a Simpsons thing too.
Oh, yeah. That would be great.
Yeah.
All right. So I was just informed that Ma Tater had raided out. So we are going to head on over to, let's see. Let's go to Charo. Charo is out there doing her thing. Miami. There we go. Charo, Miami. All right. Let's do that. And yep, okay, good. Jim, it has been absolutely a pleasure spending some time with you. You are absolutely a doll. Thank you so much for coming on the show.
Thank you so much.
Everybody,
I had a great time. I could have talked for hours more, but you.
Yeah, I know. We're very talkative here as well, but the show has to come to an end at some point. So I want to make sure that we respect your time, and it has been an absolute blast. Jorge, did you have a great time with Jim here?
Absolutely. Thank you guys for having me. It's been a pleasure.
Yeah, he's been amazing.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you.
It's your show, right?
Well, I mean, it's fun. Actually, we haven't done Tequila Talk like the traditional way in a little while. So this is great to get back to it. So you're our first guest back since the last two we did was in game. So we were actually playing in game with Peter in Fallout 76, and we were playing in game with a game developer, Pilot Redux, and he's done something he did this incredible build in Fortnite that was based on Fallout 76 Nuclear Winter, which is great. All right, we're about to raid out. Good night, everybody.
Good night, everybody.
Thank you for sticking around and listening to me ramble.